Welcome back to trying to get this hunk of junk running and driving once again. Can we do it this week? Well, I don't know, but you know what? There ain't but one way to find out, so let us get busy. If you recall, last week we pulled the motor, started tearing it apart to see why the thing was locked up. Number 6 piston was all crudted up with carbon. I had her locked up where she wouldn't turn over very good. So we tore it the rest of the way down, cleaned everything up, started putting it back together. And when you tighten up main cap number 6, the crank would lock up. Couldn't figure that out. So I've done a little bit of experimenting today, and well, watch this right here. This number 6 cap is tight, by the way. Look at there. Oh yeah. Turned it over by hand. What I did was I pulled the rope seal out, and that's what it was. Now why number 6 main cap would make it tight, I don't know, unless the end of this crank tweaked just a little bit. Possibly. What I've done is I don't know where they're at. They're probably over yonder, or they may be in the house. Anyway, I bought rubber rear main seals. Yep. So got rid of the rope ones. Let's put the rubber ones in. Start putting this thing back together. I want to hear this thing run. Here are the rubber rear main seals. It's metal core with rubber wrapped around it. This will look like the regular old lip seal. I'm assuming it'll go that way, just like you do any other seal. So, let me see if this is going to fit. Sure hope it does. Then we'll get, well, this looks too large. It's sticking up. And I don't think you're supposed to cut that off. So, is one half bigger than the other? I don't know. Let's see. No, sir, they are exactly the same. So why is that sticking up so high? This is interesting. Let me stick this in here and put one in the main cap and just see what we got. Well, upon further investigation, lots and lots of investigation, like 2 hours worth on this rear main seal on this motor, I'm more confused now than when I started. Yep, sure am. I called Mala. Well, that's how you say that word, by the way, Mala. I used to call it Mel or Molly. Nope, it's Mala. Anyways, I called their tech line and told him what was going on, gave him that part number. He said, yes, sir, that fits a Ford 200 cubic inch straight inline 6 motor. I said, no, sir, it does not. He did lots of searching. He said, yeah, that's the right one. Well, there's a number on the seal itself. I gave him that number. He said, I ain't got a clue. It don't come up on our end. So I got online, I looked up the number that's on the seal, and I come up on a post. It was actually the first search thing. A guy building a 289, and that's the part number on his seal. He was worried because it was sticking up just a wee bit, and it's supposed to, because there's going to be a little crush to the seal. Anyways, that was the part number on his seal. I think that seal is for 289-302. I looked up the rear main seal diameter for 289-302, 3 5/8. Well, this one here is 360. Yeah, don't fit. But I continued to search, and there's been a lot of people looking for a rubber rear main seal for the small. They call these the small Ford inline 6s. And it's just so confusing that I ain't got a clue. Some say that part number right there. Well, anyway, any parts place you look up, it gives that number right there, and it's just, it ain't right. No, sir. Because a lot of people use that seal and they say, no, sir, it does not fit. Felpro, the number, they don't even make the seal anymore. So, phooey on all that. I got the rope seal back in there. That's what we're going to use. Now that we know that's what's locking it up, I'll feel a little bit better. Ain't going to worry about it. Let's put her together and hear her run. Got all the mains in. I'm doing a final torque of 70 feetage poundages. Once I get done with this, we will start putting the pistons in and torquing down the rod bolts. Before I go to putting the pistons in, I completely forgot to show y'all how far up the seal was sticking. So let me show you now. It was sticking up approximately that much where my thumbnail is on both sides on the block, and then the same amount on the cap too. And remember me telling you that the 289-302 bearing surface diameter on the crank was 3 5/8. Well, let's put these together and get a rough measurement. I bet you it'll be close to 3 5/8. Yep. All right, remember me telling you that this diameter on this seal surface was 3 3/60. Well, I got my caliper set to 3 3/60. Here's the seal put together. You see how much room we got there? That seal would never work. Let me close it back up. That seal would never work. No, sir. Wrong seal. I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of confusion online about what seal. You can't find a rubber one, so fool you on it. We're gonna run it with the rope seal. It's pretty hard to turn. Let me get the wrench. What I do with the wrench? It's pretty hard to turn. Yep. But it's gonna have to do, because I ain't nothing else I can do. So let's get the pistons in and keep on putting it together. On to the next hurdle. It never stops around here, fellas, I'm telling you. Putting the rings on the pistons, I got to the last one, which just happens to be number 6. And this is the oil ring. See how that's sticking out? It won't go in. No, sir, sure won't. So, let me take this apart. Hopefully it's just maybe, carbon buildup that I missed, but probably not. Knowing MLS, I'm probably going to have to buy another piston. Let me investigate and see what we got going on. Well, I worked on this for about an hour, literally, and finally the ring will move around in the groove. It was this area right in here on this side. It was just stick. I took a file around that area on the bottom and the top of that ring groove, just filed the devil out of it, and finally got it to work. I'm sort of thinking now that might be what was wrong with this car. Like I said, this is cylinder 6, and that's the one that, back here was stuck back here, all crudted up with carbon around the rings, and that tells me that the oil was coming out of the oil ring, and yep, bet you money that's what was wrong with that thing. Anyways, I'm a wee bit aggravated to say the least. My phone is about dead, but I'm going to keep on working. Let me finish getting the rings on these pistons, and we'll try to put them in the block. Well, I managed to get all the rings on the pistons. I guess we'll go ahead and put the pistons in the block. Let me show you this. Notch. Pretty much all pistons will have a notch, arrow, something. That always goes to the front. Yes, sir. Sure does. So let's get these pistons in here real quick, like. Put your hose on your rod bolt so you don't mark your crank up. And you just drive her on down in there till it bottoms out. Just like that right there. Then I'm gonna flip her over. Just like that right there. We'll take these off. Put the cap on. Tangs go together. I'm gonna snug them up just so they don't move around. Now, let me flip it back over. I think we'll do number 6, because the throw's at the bottom. I like doing it with the throw at the bottom because you can get to it better here. So let's put numeral 60 in real quick, like. I'm doing something a little different this time with my ring compressor. Normally I will try to fight this, hold the piston, hold this, and tighten it up. Well, let's just stick it in the cylinder. Let me get my rings where they go. Just make sure they're not, right next to each other. Anyways, let's try something different. Put it in the bore. Put this over it. And you grab your, whatever you're going to tighten it with. Tighten it up. Oh yeah, that worked greatly. Remember, notch to the front. Drive her on in. Flip it over. Pull the hoses off. Grab the cap. Put it on. Tangs go together right there. Snug them up. And there you go. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. Let me do the other 4. I'll be back in a little while. All pistons are installed. All rod bolts are tightened to 26 feet-pounds. And I'm done for the day. Yes, sir, I am done. This thing ain't been nothing but a pain in my hind end. I'm extremely aggravated. That seal issue we had, fooled with that for a couple hours, and that stupid piston, the ring not wanting to act right and having to file on the piston. No, sir, I'm a little bit aggravated, so I got to take a break. Some parts I ordered for the brakes come in, so I'm gonna go to town, pick them up. I might come back later tonight, fool with a little bit. I got to clean the Earl pan, the valve cover, and then I might continue. Well, we might put the head on, got to do the cam and gears and all that, and I don't know. I'll either see y'all tonight or I'll see y'all tomorrow. I decided to come back out here tonight, fool with this thing a little bit. Got the valve cover and the oil pan cleaned up, and what else? I sort of attempted to clean up the accessories. I see my power steering pump's leaking all over the floor. That's good. Got the Earl pan, oil pump on, front cover's on, but these 2 bolts here are a little bit too long. I got to figure out if something mounted here in front of them or what. Anyway, I think what we're gonna do after I figure that out, let's go ahead and put the head on, water pump. I painted my pulleys and balancer right here. It's after that pulley's rusted away. I painted them anyways. Oh yeah. Anyways, I like to get it painted, then get the accessories on and have it ready to go in the car tomorrow. Let's see if we can do that. I rearranged these bolts up here. There were 2 long, 3 medium, 2 short. I got them where they go, I think. Let's get this head on here. Ooh, this thing is light. I really don't see the need in this being so dead blame heavy. Goodness gracious alive. Ain't no dowel pins either. I might need to put the lifters in firstly. Yep. Let's do that firstly. That would have been very bad if I'd have forgot them lifters. Yes, sir. They do not give you much room to get these in there. They sure don't. There it goes. Oh, yeah. For those who are wondering why you want to put these lifters back in the same spot, they wear, you know, when you break a cam in, they wear to the lobe, or the lobe wears to them, one or the other. And they claim if you switch them around, well, you can wear the cam out or the lifter or whatever. So it's just good practice to put them back. Like I said last week, I'm not sure that really matters, but that's what they say to do. I can't get that and go down in there. There it went. Let me get the rest of these in there and I'll be back and we'll get that head on. All right, let's try this one more time. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! We'll have a hernia picking this thing up. Oh yeah! All right, let's see. Approximately right there. All right. Let me get a couple of head bolts lined up. Come on, man, where is it at? I gotta go forward a little bit. Darn, this is aggravating right here. Is there a better way to do this? This is ridiculous here. It's a good way to tear a head gasket up. Let me try that right there. Oh yeah. All right, let me get another one in. You know, on a small block Chevrolet, you have to put sealant on the head bolts because they go through to the water jacket. I don't know if this does or not, but let's just put it on there just in case. Actually, I'll tell you how we can tell. Hang on just a minute. Take a screwdriver, that bottoms out, that bottoms out, bottoms out, bottoms out. It appears, wait a minute, and there sort of is acting weird. I don't think they go through to the water jacket, so yeah, fooey on that. I got one with a stud on top of it. I don't remember where it goes. I gotta look at an old video and see if I can tell. Upon further investigation, it goes right here. I do not know why. We'll find out eventually. Probably a bracket or something hooks to it. But that's where it goes. Listen here, does not want to go in the threads for some reason. What in the world? Always something, always. Well, I don't know. I have no clue why this little fella here won't start. So let me loosen all of them back up. I swear. Then scooty scoot around till we can get that started. Well, I don't understand. I have no clue. We try a different bolt. Okay. A different bolt starts. Somebody explain it to me because they're all the same. I don't know. All right, let me find a chart that shows the bolt pattern torquing sequence. We'll get these tightened down. You go 55, 65, 75. You start in the middle, work your way out, basically. Just like it's right here. You can go here. Then you go here. So on and so forth. I'll be back when I get it done. Just rechecking them on the last pass of 75 feetage pounds. Once I do that, we'll get the push rods in and get rocker arms on. This does not oil through the push rods. It oils through this hole over here. It's just like the FEs. Comes up through here and then goes out through the rocker arm shaft. Make sure you get all these little fellers in here before you tighten your bolts down. All right, let me find the torque specs on them and torque it down real quick like. 30 to 35 feetage pounds on these little fellers here. All right, I think we're ready to put the valve cover on. Tell you what, let me pour just a wee bit of oil on this before I put that valve cover on. I'm trying not to get it outside of the motor, but you know how that is. I just want a little bit on that rocker shaft and tops of the valves and whatnot. That probably didn't do any good, but it makes me feel better. Which way does this go? Maybe like this. You know what? It's got them little things. What was that on, a Dodge? Or maybe a Ford? Yeah. It clips into this and makes it a lot easier to get it on. So let me do that real quick like. Ow. Well, that's pretty doggone convenient. Sure is. All right, let's get this little fella on there. Which way does it go? Like this? You know, it's not every day I put together a Ford inline 6 I'm just curious. I'm just waiting to realize that I have forgotten something. I got to tear it back apart. It wouldn't surprise me at all. No, sir. All right, I'm gonna get my ratchet out, run around this about 24 times till it gets tight enough, because that's a cork gasket. Then we might put the water pump on and it might be time to paint it. Got the valve cover torqued down, put the motor mounts on, and I completely forgot about cleaning them, so all the dirt and grease, it's gonna get a blue paint job, sure is. I wanted to show y'all this before I painted it. The dipstick tube is a piece of copper, and then it's been brazed into the side of the oil pan. I thought the oil pan had been took off because it had RTV, orange RTV around the gasket. As far as I know, factory does not use orange RTV. Also, I have lost my dipping stick. Don't know where it's at. Anyway, I don't know if Daddy did that or somebody else. I'd like to know why. And then I'm wondering if this is the original place for the dipstick. It's got that hose on it. I don't know. Anyway, I got to take this thermostat housing off because it's really crudded up down in there. We'll clean that out, put that back on, put the water pump on, and we may be real close to painting it. I'm going to put the fuel pump on. We'll go ahead and paint it blue. Also, here's all my gaskets. This was in the gasket set. I have no clue where it goes. None whatsoever. Maybe, no, it's got a gasket for that, I think. I believe that's what that is. Probably. Anyway, maybe I'll find out where it goes. If not, well, it ain't getting put on. I found it. Don't know why it's over here, but that's where it's at. We got the thermostat housing off, and let me show you. That's why I took it off. Yeah, it's sort of like it's calcified. I don't know. Let me clean that out, and I might clean that up, but we're most likely going to leave that out. Well, I got the thermostat and housing cleaned up. This is like a waxy type of substance. Ain't got a clue where it comes from. No, sir. Let's put this in some boiling water and see if it opens up. Well, I got some boiling water. If I can fish this out, I'll show you. Come on, man. It is opened up. You can see down in there, see daylight. But I think it ought to be opened up a little more than that. So I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Fooey on that thermostat. I ain't gonna use it. We'll go with that one. This bolt over here in the thermostat housing goes through to the water jacket. I'm gonna put a little bit of thread sealer on there. All right, now, where's the water pump? Let's get it on real quick, like. These bolts go through to the water jacket also, so let me put a little bit of thread sealer on them. What's next? Let me put the fuel pump on. Wait a minute. This, I don't know where this goes, but this is our lifting lug. Where, oh where, this went in here approximately like that. No, how did it go? Which way did it go? Like this, yeah. I don't know where it went. I found it. It was over here. Yep. Approximately right here. All right. Now I'll put the fuel pump on. Wait a minute. I ain't sure if I'm going. No, sir, I'm not going right. Oh, I got it upside down. It goes like this. Yep. I got one more thing. Y'all didn't remind me. I almost forgot it. Let me put this down in here. aero pump drive. Let me make sure that looks right. Best I can tell it is. All right, I think I've got pretty much everything on here that I need. I'll check it over. I got several holes to fill up, like this one and this one and this one and this one. Spark plug holes. Let me do all that and then we'll go psh, turn her blue. Well, I reckon we are ready to paint this thing. I'm gonna do the Earl pan firstly, and then we'll flip her over to the top side. I got one can of paint. This is just Ford blue. And when I run out of that, well, we're done. I reckon I'll see y'all tomorrow. Tis the next day, and look here. We have a professionally restored 200 cubic inch Ford inline straight 6. Oh, yeah. I done decided to paint the accessories black. Trust me, fellers, it looks much better on this video than it does in person. I told you I only had one can of blue. It is a very, very light coat. Oh, yeah. Anyways, it don't matter. I mean, look at the car. Look at what is going in. I got the spark plug wires on. As you can see, I got the accessories on. And I don't know if I told y'all this or not. This is not a very desirable motor. From what I've read, due to this intake manifold, you can't unbolt it. It's made into the head. Yes, sir. And they claim the end cylinders starve for fuel. So it's just not a very desirable motor because of that intake, I think. Anyways, got an issue, I think. Well, let me find a piece. Well, see these little pieces of rag laying on the floor. I stuffed them in the spark plug holes before I painted it. Well, a few minutes ago, I was cranking it over just to see how it feels. It feels pretty good. Well, it popped all those little pieces of rag out except for cylinder 5. I don't know what's going on, unless we got a valve that's sort of sticking or something. Hopefully, it'll come on around and act right. But I think let's hook her up to the hoist and let's get her over in the car. All right, let's see if we can get this little feller drop back down in this here car. I'm gonna get me a swivel up here because this is annoying. Why you wouldn't put a swivel up there, I don't know. I don't know. Going down. Wait a minute, gotta go forward. Going down again. Gotta go forward again. Going down once more. Where are the motor mounts? Right over there. Already got that one in. Let me check this one over here. Oh yeah, like a glove. Make sure I ain't sitting on nothing I shouldn't be. I do believe it is in. Yes, sir. Let me see if I can't get the nuts on the back side of it there. If I can find them, I don't even know where they're at. All right, let's let her on down, see if it's gonna sit. Oh yeah. All right, let me get this out of the way, and then we gotta get the transmission hooked up next. I reckon we got to put this little pitiful looking flex plate on. Did this go behind it? No, sir. It went like this, I think. Yeah. I don't know that this has a specific way to go. Well, we're gonna put it back like it was because there's a little cutout here where this hole is. So yes, sir, it's exactly how we're gonna put her back. Just like it right there. Hold on now. And this little feller, she goes up here with some bolts. Let's get the bolts in it, man. Well, this is acting like this little ring here will only go one certain way. Yeah, them holes ain't lining up, so let me figure out which way this goes on. That might be it right there. Let's see. No, sir. No, sirree. Well, when I figure this out, I'll get these bolts in here and we'll get the transmission in. By George, I think that's it. All right. Let me get this out of the way because it's probably going to be in the way. Then we'll put the transmission in.
Come on, little buddy. Come on, little buddy. Let's get in the gear. Come on, man.
Am I hitting something? Oh, my vacuum line.
My vacuum line. My vacuum line is in the way. Yes, sir. Out of the way.
Oh, my. I'm about to break my dipstick tube over here, too. Well, I will be. Let me let her down. Goodness gracious. Something like that. Y'all watch them. Don't let them get tangled up. That's all she's got. I gotta let the lift down. And then I got to be all crook-necked. So this fella here don't come up high enough. No, well, let me let this down. We got to rearrange. It doesn't help us out at all. I don't know. Let me jack for another 64 hours. Man, this thing goes slow. Coming up. You know what I'm forgetting, don't you? This little fella right here. This plate. Oh yeah. Why, Ford? Why? Why would you want to put this in here? I do not know why. Come on, man. All right. Now, let's continue to see if we can't get this up in there. This has got to go up over here and down over here. Right there. Right there. Stop. If I can find some bolts, we're going to put some bolts in it. All right. Well, I got that aggravating transmission jack out of the way. Let me tell you what. We're going to do some modifications to that thing because it ain't tall enough. Yeah, it don't go up high enough. I'm having to, drop the lift down. My neck's all bent over like this. Fooey on that. Yes, sir. We will extend that sometime or another. Let me get this right here in place, and then we'll go to putting everything else in place, and then go up top and get all that in place. Oh, yeah. Got to go up. Approximately right there. Let me tell y'all something, fellas. This lift has made my life so much easier. I am sure proud to have it. Yes, sir. All right. Get this fella here out of the way. And we'll keep on trucking. Well, here's the deal. I've screwed up. Let me turn the light on so you can see. I forgot that this torque converter has studs sticking out. Well, they're supposed to be over here with this hole, not right here. Well, it's jammed up on that flex plate. I'm gonna try to see if I can't shimmy it around and get it lined up with that, but if I can't, we're gonna have to pull that transmission back off, or loosen the bolts and push it back anyways. Let me see what I can do with it. Well, here's what I did to remedy this situation. Put my transmission jack right here to hold the weight, to loosen the bolts up, and had a long bolt that I put in here. Took all the other bolts out, had one on the other side too, slid it back, got her lined up, and she's ready to go back together. So let me get this bolted back up, and I'm gonna get everything hooked up under here, and I'll see y'all when I get back up top. Well, I had to take loose the transmission cross member again. I forgot my cooler lines and I couldn't get my hand up in to get the front one. So I had to drop the transmission back down and get all that done. I got the exhaust hooked up. Pretty much everything under here is hooked up. I just wanted to show y'all real quick like. A lot of people call this Fox platform a factory race car, and here's why. It's basically a triangulated 4-bar system. Here's your upper bars. Remember on the 40N Dude, we did triangulated 4-bar. It's the same thing. It's just the control arms are stamped steel instead of, you know, round tubing like we used. But yes, sir, they consider it a factory race car because of this, and it's got struts in the front. Apparently you want strut system if you're drag racing. I don't know, I'm not a drag racer. But anyway, just thought I'd show y'all that. Yes, sir. We got us a factory race car, sure do. Even though our frame rail is pretty much shot. Also, I saw right up here a little while ago, let me show you here just a second. This front frame rail right here, she's pretty rotten too. Oh yeah, we'll have to do something about that. Right now though, I ain't worried about it. All I'm worried about is hearing this thing run. I'm gonna drive it down the road. Before I let it down, let's see if we can't pop that dent out real quick. This is what you call precision body work. I'm just taking my pry bar here and hopefully pop it out. I ain't really got nothing to pry against. Let's see. Let's see what that right there will do to it. Come on, man. Look at there. Did it pop out? No, not all of it. Well, I ain't really got nothing to pry against. Let's try it like this right here. Look at there. Precision body work. Oh yeah. It sure does look pretty sitting in an old nasty ugly engine bay. It sure does. I got my vacuum out and cleaned all this up a little while ago before I put the motor in, but still looks pretty rough. Oh yeah. I've got pretty much everything up here done. There wasn't just a few wires here and a couple of vacuum lines. Got the starter put in. This is the the vacuum modulator. Let me hook that up right there. Come on now. I'll get it in a minute. All I got left, fan shroud, radiator, and I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I don't know if I told y'all this or not, but you know, I was wondering, you know, that transmission had an electrical plug. I thought, well, maybe it's a lockup. No, sir. It is a C4. I'll put the number up right here of the transmission. C4 something or other. I can't remember. But it is a C4. That's what that means. And I looked it up, and those wires are for reverse lights and a neutral safety switch. Yep. Anyways, give me about an hour, and we'll see if this thing will fire up. Everything's hooked up. Got my battery, got my starter thingamabob. Oh yeah, it don't really turn over any faster than it was, I don't think. But that is with the spark plugs in, so maybe we'll be okay. You might notice the carb is missing. Let me explain why. I completely forgot that our accelerator pump, which is this little item right here, completely forgot that it was leaking like a sieve out here. That's because there's like rubbery whatever around here to let it flex. Well, that's all gone, and it's letting fuel just pour out there. I don't want that being in the shop, get a spark, set it on fire, burn the shop down. I do not want to do that, not at all. So just ordered a rebuild kit. I probably have an accelerator pump over there in the drawer, but see this gasket here, it don't want to come off without tearing up. So got a rebuild kit coming, should be here in the morning. Also ordered a transmission filter. It'll be here in the morning also. So we ain't gonna try to start it right now. What we're gonna do though, let's do a little brake work. I might start with changing the master cylinder, and then remember I told you those calipers I bought are for a 79. This is a 78. Let's see if they're gonna work. Hopefully they will. I've already looked in here once. Let me show you. It's pretty bad. Let me get a school driver. Oh yeah, that is yummy, yummy. Sure is. So we're gonna take that off, put the new one on, and then we'll see if them calipers are gonna work. Taking bets on whether or not these break free or break. I forgot to spray them with Croil oil. So let's do that now. Oh yeah. Let me get me a wrench. Will it break free? Will it break free? Well, I can't even get the nut to break free, much less the line. I think I got some line wrenches somewhere. See if that don't help out. No, sir. No, sirree. Well, the next thing is vice grips. Oh, yeah. But it's wanting to hang on the line. The nut don't want to spin on the line. So let me get my little torch and heat that up. Maybe that'll help us out. I think I just figured out what is hurting my knees. Leaning over here, I lock my knees. Yes, sir. Just in 2 minutes here. Man, they're killing me. All right. Did we do any good or not? No, sir. That's going to twist off on us, I do believe. They don't want to come loose. No, sir. There it goes. I done twisted it. Yep. Oh well, we'll have to make some new lines there. It's just a little short line down here to the proportioning valve. What about this one? Let me get a different wrench because it's smaller. No, sir. Vice grip time. Same thing. Is it a short line? Yeah. That won't be too bad. A little short line. Hey, that there broke free. Oh, yeah, look at there. That's awesome. All right, let me get this line off and we'll get the master cylinder off, get the new one on, make us a new line. Then we'll try the calipers out. Ta-da! One is a lot bigger than the other. I don't know if that matters. We shall find out here in a little bit. These nuts don't fit. You know, they're a flange nut. They do not fit because it hits the master cylinder. Let me go see if a regular nut will fit. Yeah, I reckon that'll fit. This in here, though, how in the world am I gonna get that on? All right, let me see about making a new line there. Well, I got me a line made. There it is right there. Let's see if I actually bent it right where it'll go, where it's supposed to go. If I can get this here started. Oh yeah, that lines up great. But I put the wrong size nut up here. It's got a different size than this one down here. So I get to redo this whole thing. I'll be back here after a while. Master cylinder is installed. Got my line there. I used that same line. I just sort of straightened it out, cut it off, put me a bigger nut on there and flared it again and bent it back like it needed to be. I hope that's the right master cylinder. Could be for manual brakes. I bought one for power. Anyway, where's it at? Right in this area here, yeah. Let me get this out of the way. This brake line here, yep, she's shot. That goes down to the front. This goes to the back. Let me explain to you this. There's a bad spot right there too. I want to blow out on us. Let me explain to you the back brakes. See it going through the firewall? It goes inside. It goes inside, yeah. Forward. Why? Why would you do that? So what we're going to do, there's a reason I like GM. Anyway, what we're going to do is come off of here and just go down, follow underneath the car to the back, and hook it up to the hose, and that'll be that. We ain't gonna fool that right now though, because I'm curious if these calipers are gonna fit. So let me get her up in the air and get the wheel off. We'll check that out. I got the wheel off, and the bearings don't sound bad. They're not loose, so I ain't gonna worry about them right now. The rotor's pretty rusty, but they were like $90 a piece. I just can't afford that, so we're gonna take some old sanding paper and clean them up a little bit. That ain't bad. Let me do the back side. We'll be done with this. All right, that's gonna have to do for now. Let me get a caliper out and see if it's gonna bolt up. Will they fit or won't they fit? Well, they're fitting in between the bracket there. Let me see about the bolts. That's a different thread, I believe. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. Let me see real quick on the thread part. No, wait a minute, that's right thread. All right. Well, let's try that again. Let me run these up and just see what it looks like. Well, they might work. Let me get the pads on and let's see what we got. I'm gonna sand these areas here because that's where it has the slide. They're kind of rusty. The pads are the same for 78 and 79 through whatever. So I'm pretty confident this will work, but we'll find out here in just a moment. Well, these are awful tight. Awful tight. Interesting. That piston, I'm pretty sure is all the way in. Yep. This may not work. I don't know. I need to look up rotors and see if they're the same thickness. That may be an issue there. Well, upon further investigation, the rotors are all the same for them. So I got to look a little closer, and your brake pad has to go right in here. It sits right here. Well, this was a little rusty, so I sanded on it, and it's pretty smooth now. Well, it's still don't want to go down in there. No, sir. So what I might do, make sure these are the right brakes first, and then take this here to the grinder. Just, ever so slightly hit it on the grinder and see if that'll work. I didn't grind off a whole lot, but I ground off more than I wanted to. But it fits in there now, so let's see if it'll go with the caliper. If it does, then we're in business. Actually, let me put it in here first because it's got them little nubs. It goes, but that's too tight. Yep, it won't even turn. I don't think that's right. No, sir. Well, I don't know if y'all can see or not, but the piston is all the way back in, and I can barely turn it. It's rubbing pretty hard. It should be plenty of slack there, and it's not. I'll tell you what I can do tomorrow. I left the old calipers over there at the woods. Go get them, do some measuring, see what I think. It could be that this is rusted. It don't feel that rusty, not making it that much thicker, but it could be. So tomorrow I'll get them calipers and measure and see what I think, and if they're vastly different, well then I'll have to get 78 calipers. I think I'm gonna call it a night. It's getting kind of late. I'm hungry. Tomorrow hopefully I'll get my kit for the car. We'll get it done, and I'd like to, dang, I backed into my vice. That hurt. Anyway, get the carb on, at least hear it run. I was hoping to drive it a little bit, but if these calipers ain't right, then, well, we're stuck in the mud. Anyways, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Today's the next day. I just got back from Ireland. Got my carb kit and transmission filter. I also went in the woods and got the old calipers. Here they are right here. And I've been inspecting and investigating and measuring, and the only difference I see is right here. The newer one where the pin slides, it's wider, and then the bolts are different. That's about it. This distance here, exactly the same. Everything else is the same. Piston size is the same. The only other difference is where your hose goes, right here and right here. The old one has a deeper hole, but it takes a shallower thread. The hose part number is different for each one. Here's the one that fits the shallow hole, but it has more threads. I don't know. I don't understand it. That's the only difference. So it doesn't make sense that they're that tight. Them rotors ain't that rusty. Usually, when you push a piston all the way back, you got, I don't know, eighth inch of play. The sucker here ain't got nothing. No, sir. So unless those pads are too thick. Oh, that's another difference. Remember how we had trouble getting this one to slide down in there? Old one, new one, New one is about 35 thousandths wider. It's made in China, so that's not surprising. This one here, as far as I can tell, is the same, except for the new one don't have the squealer. It's got a spot for it, but it's gone, so that's good. Anyway, we're going to use, I'm going to keep these though, because you can get a rebuild kit for these. So we'll keep them just in case we need them. But for now, we're going to run with the new stuff. But right now, we're going to rebuild this carb because I want to hear this thing run. Here's a rebuild kit. It comes with all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to use most of it. This is what I was after, the accelerator pump. It's made into this whole gasket. Why they did that, I don't know. You'll have to ask Holly, because this is a 1904, I think is what they call it. I need the spring and this little plunger thing off the old one. And then I think that's power valve. It goes right here. So we'll change that out. Let me get this put together and then we'll see if that car starts. Carb is on. The accelerator pump, for whatever reason, the oil does not work. So we'll have to look at that in a little while. Maybe it'll start working on its own. Kind of doubt it. I got to Harry because I just bought some parts off of Facebook Marketplace. I need to go pick them up. But real quick, let us see if this thing is at least going to try to fire off. Herewith we go. Fire in the old hole. Wait a minute. Might need to hook the electrical up so we have some sparky sparks. Come on, man, come off of there. Alrighty. Fire in the old hole. Let's back the timing off a wee bit. Still got that squeaking noise. I'm wondering if that's valve train up here. Well, battery cable smoking again. I don't understand this motor at all. I really don't. Yes, sir. Battery cable is smoking. Well, this negative cable, she's pretty warm. It's kind of thin. I got me a thicker one here. We will try that when I get back. But for now, let me go pick up them parts I bought. Let me give y'all a little bit of advice, speaking of parts buying on eBay. What's it called? Facebook Marketplace. I've tried to buy 3 or 4 things in the last week. People, they'll put stuff for sale and then they won't answer you. Or they'll answer you, yeah, we can do that. And then you never hear from them again. It angers me. I'm just telling you, please don't do that. If you put something on anywhere, eBay, Facebook, Craigslist, I don't care. If somebody messages you about what you're trying to sell, please respond, please. That's all I'm asking. Anyway, let me go pick these parts up and we'll come back and fool with this some more. Well, I finally made it back home about 3 hours later. There's the heads. They are aluminum LT1 heads. No, they're not for the Trans Am. I got heads for that. This is for a different LT1 motor. We might work on it. I don't know, sometime next year. I'm not even sure when I'm gonna put it in. But I saw the heads, they were cheap. I thought, well, let me go ahead and buy them. I got a couple other motors I'm trying to buy parts for. If people would answer me on Marketplace, yep, if you're gonna sell something, hey, you might want to talk to your customer. Anyway, I put that other negative battery cable on there. Let's see if we can't make this thing run. It's very aggravating that pump shot don't work. I have no clue why it won't. I just know that it won't. All right. Fire and hold. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Fire and hold again. I don't know why this thing don't want to start. It's starting to baffle me just a wee bit. Well, let me get a timing light out and just see if we're even in the ballpark of where it needs to be. All right, let me see if I can figure out where our timing is at. Well, I'm not getting anything at the moment. Huh. Interesting. Make sure this is going the right way. Let me flip it over. Well, this ain't picking up nothing. So we may not be getting fire on all cylinders. I don't think that's picking up on anything. Very interesting. Let me try a different plug wire. Either this is tore up or I don't know what's going on. I have no clue. Huh. Let me try it on each one, see if I pick up on any of them. Well, I ain't got a clue what's going on. My timing light, it flashed one time, that was it. I took it out to my S10 just to make sure it was working. Works just fine and dandly. Got my spark tester out. Check number 1, it's firing. I got it on number 2. It'll show it's firing, and it'll be, the next time around, it'll fire 3 times real quick. So, I don't know what's going on with that. We may have a spark issue. Well, let me just see if I can catch it on camera. I don't know if this camera will pick it up because it flashes pretty fast. Well, of course it ain't gonna do it now that I got the camera out. Let me run on through here and make sure all of them sparking. We may pull the plugs out and do a compression test. Other than that, you ain't got a clue. Well, here's the deal. I checked the rest of them. They're all getting spark. They're getting lots and lots of spark. Like I was telling you, it'll fire, and then next time it may fire 3 times in a row. And then I've picked up some real faint sparks when they're not supposed to be. Well, I switched my camera here to 60 frames per second, and I videoed cranking it over, and I believe it's going to show up. I'll show you right here. You can see a bunch of faint sparks, and it's not firing right. I think our issue may be our ignition box there. That may be why the thing never would start in the woods either. I got that one to come off the FE, but I never could get it to fire on the bench over here. Let me swap it out and just see what it does, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to go buy one of them tomorrow. All right, here's the deal again. There's that ignition box off the FE. I haven't hooked it up yet. I started to hook it up, and then I remembered you got 2 hot wires right here, and I swapped it. I had it on the red one, and we was getting all that funny spark. Well, I swapped it to the white wire. Well, it's acting like it should now. I don't understand that, because from my reading on Ford ignition systems and looking at the wiring diagrams, it should fire on either one of these. One is hot from the ignition when it's running, and one is hot when it's starting. It gives it full 12 volts. So either way, it should run. I don't know what's going on, but we're getting normal fire now, but my battery's about dead. So, well, I've already got one on the charger over there. Got this out of the 40. The thing is still running batteries down very, very quickly. I don't know what's wrong with it. Unless there is something wrong with that starter. Let me charge these batteries up, see what we get, and we'll try it one more time. Well, I'm coming to you from the future to let you know that car right there, it's been a pain. Yep. It's just taking longer than I thought to do stuff, and well, just MLS getting in the way. Plus, the video is getting kind of long, so I think we'll cut her off right here. And well, you just have to wait till next week to see if it fires up or not. Anyway, appreciate y'all watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you don't mind, hit that like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. And until next time, go do something. Blur, blur.